Okay, so in this video we're going to take a look at taking the box bottom, box top, and box handle and putting it all together in an assembly, mating each part together. So I'm going to click on open here as I've actually, no, cancel. I'm going to click on new because we're going to create a new assembly. So underneath the parts is the assembly, so we're going to do a standard millimeter assembly. So I'm going to double click on that. It's going to take a moment and open up that model space. And what we're going to do is once that model space is open, we're going to start bringing in the parts that we have, the three different parts, the bottom, the top, and the handle, bringing those into our workspace. Okay, so we've got our workspace here now up and running. Under assembly, we're going to start with this place option. So I'm going to hit place. Now I'm going to go and search for where I know my information is. Okay, so desktop, OneDrive, go here. Okay, so I've got my box bottom. I'm going to start with my box bottom. I'm going to open that, and it's going to allow me to place the box bottom into my model area. So I've got my box bottom now placed. I'm going to right click and select OK. So there's my box bottom that I now have in my model and ready to work with. But I want to place some more. I want to place my box top now. So here's my box top. I select it from my folder and I click to place it. Right click and hit OK so that it's fully placed now. And last but not least, we want to place in here our box handle. So there's my handle, open, click to place it, right click and OK to be done. So there's my three pieces. These are the three pieces that I want to assemble together. So I'm going to start with the handle and the box top. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to start with the box top and the box bottom. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and click constrain. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to constrain this side of the top to this side of the bottom. Okay, so it's constrained those two. Now what it's done is it's flopped it over to bring those two together. If I come over here and select this option, what it'll do is it'll just have those surfaces line up rather than one flopped over on top of the other. Great, so that's what we wanted there. I'm going to hit apply. Okay, now I'm going to come grab that. Okay, so I'm going to come back in here now, and next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to constrain the top of my bottom box to the bottom of my top box. Okay. Now again, it flipped it over so that the two pieces are flush on each other rather than facing each other. So I'm going to switch it back over to facing each other so that they are now lined up. And I'm going to hit apply. Okay. So the two surfaces are next to each other, and this surface here is mated with this surface here. Last thing that I want to do to constrain is to now take this face and mate it with that face. Okay, but it's going to be flush. So it's going to be flush on each other rather than this option, which is called mate. So mate and flush. Mate takes the two surfaces and puts them face on face. Flush takes them and just puts them on the same plane next to each other. I'm going to hit apply. So the box top and the box bottom are now fully constrained to each other. If I move one, it's going to move the other. Now I've got this handle scenario. First thing I'm going to do with the handle is I am going to constrain the center of this hole. Okay. I'm going to cancel out of this and go back into constrain. I'm going to constrain. Notice when I come to this hole, it gives me this center line right here. I'm going to constrain that center line with the center line on this circle here. Sometimes you have to move things around to get that center line to appear. There it is. So I'm going to align those two so that they line up nicely. Click apply. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other set of center lines. Okay? So that center line is going to line up with the center line of this hole. Okay? Now, that handle, both holes are lined up with each other. Hit apply. The last thing that I'm going to do here is I am going to take the surface, that flat surface of the handle here, okay, and I'm going to mate it to the top of this surface here. So it's going to be mated to the top of that surface there. What that's going to do is that's going to bring that handle down and mate it up with that top surface. Okay, so now I'm going to hit apply, and we have a situation in which all the pieces are now constrained to each other. I'm going to cancel out of this. If I grab the handle, it's going to bring everything with it. If I grab the top piece, it's going to bring everything with it. If I grab the bottom piece, it's going to bring everything with it.